announcement, then there's not much to
I did
speculate on.
find something very interesting in regards to Canelo's comments in regards to his fight with Daniel Jacobs. He mentioned how Danny Jacobs is the most difficult and toughest fight of his career, and when I looked at that statement, I kind of assumed that stylistically. Would you agree with that statement?
Well, we thought Triple G won both the Canelo fights, so I mean, I think clearly those were the toughest fights for Canelo's career. You got to give Canelo credit. He vacated the WBC title first when he was ordered to fight him, but then he did fight him. We thought the first fight was a clear decision, and the second fight, if anything, it should have been a draw if Triple G didn't win it. But I think it's a good fight with Canelo and Danny Jacobs. Canelo, I think, learned a lot with, especially at 160 pounds, with the fights against Triple G. It'll be interesting to see how Danny fights against Canelo. The styles make the fight, so I'm not sure if you can say Canelo's going to fight the same way against Danny or vice versa. When Triple G fought Danny, Danny didn't. He skipped the IBF second day weigh-in, even though they had agreed at the rules meeting they were going to be there, and the whole time they were going to fight for the IBF title. But clearly that was to get a weight advantage, which we had no control over because it was the IBF rule. If Triple G didn't do the second day weigh-in, he would have lost his title. So Danny chose to only fight for the other two titles, WBC and WBA. And he disregarded the IBF title at the time. Eric Goldsmith told me that they learned from that situation, and they put in that second day rehydration cost. So now it'll be an even playing field for both Canelo and Danny Jacobs. Danny's physically the bigger guy. I would give the edge to Canelo because of what he learned in the Triple G fights. And I think he's elevated his game quite a bit. So I like Danny a lot personally. I would, from a boxing perspective, I'd give the edge to Canelo. But it's a very competitive fight, and it's one that I'm looking forward to see.
In Tom Loeffer's perfect world, who would you like to see Triple G fight next? There's Andre at WBO with Saunders moving up to 168. They were saying that it makes Triple G mandatory. There's a lot of options at middleweight, even super middleweight. Callum Smith. For you, who would you personally want if you had to tell Triple G fight this guy?
The great thing about Triple G is he's wanted to fight everyone, and it doesn't matter where he fought. He fought over in England. He fought in Monte Carlo. He's fought in New York. He's fought on the West Coast, in LA, and Vegas. So, anytime Triple G's in a fight, it's always an exciting fight. So it really doesn't matter at this point who he fights. Naturally, the Canelo fight is still the biggest fight for boxing and for both guys, for both Canelo and for Triple G. But that's really again going back to what TV deal he's going to sign, and then it's up to him who he's going to fight. And the great thing is he's in a tremendous position to command the financial part of boxing. Everything that he went through, all the sacrifices he went through, all the concessions we made on the first couple Canelo fights. Now he can reap the rewards. DAZN came into boxing. They brought a huge budget with them. ESPN has really stepped up their ability with the ESPN Plus. They signed the Fury deal, and Showtime and Fox has a great combination what they're doing on their side. So I think Gennady's in a great position to decide what's best for his career, and then once he makes that decision, then he'll announce it, and we'll be looking forward to the next fight.
Last, I just want you to break down the fight. Anthony Joshua, U.S. debut, taking on Jarrell Miller. Who you got in that fight, Tom?
It's hard to pick against Joshua. When Vladimir fought him in Wembley, I think that was the most vulnerable Joshua was. I think AJ was lucky that Vladimir had such a long layoff when Vladimir had him on the canvas. But what AJ's accomplished right now, selling out the stadiums over there, and he's kind of doing the reverse what we did with Triple G, where we built him here in the U.S. and then he fought in the U.K. And AJ has a tremendous following there. Now he's coming over here to the States. So I like Jarrell also. He was actually, both of them were sparring partners for Vladimir, both Joshua and Jarrell Miller when Vladimir was the champion. But you got to go with Joshua in that fight.
for your time, Tom. Enjoy New York. Hope to see you soon.
All right. Good to
Hopefully we see promotion fights over here in New York, East Coast down the road.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate
All
it.
right.